Hi guys, welcome to another video. Hope you're all keeping well. Now for this video, I like to review a DVD that I bought in Liverpool and HMV whilst I was out shopping over there yesterday. Now the movie is actually an Irish horror movie pertaining to a very much celebrated Irish traditional day. Now it was made in 2024 and it was directed by Steve Lawson and it stars Marta Savetic, I hope I pronounced that correctly, Annabella Rich and Aviana Snow, and that movie is called The St. Patrick's Day Massacre. Okay then guys, before I say anything further about the movie and give me thoughts on the storyline as a whole and a rating, I'll just read you the back of this DVD just to make you familiar with it, if you don't know about it. The party ends in blood. Not green blood. On a trip to Dublin to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, 4 friends agree to spend the night in an abandoned tavern where they are stalked by an undead killer in search of revenge for a tragedy that's occurred centuries before. So there you go, guys. That's the story in a nutshell. Yeah. Okay then, guys. And there's a couple of stills from the movie, guys. Yeah. Okay then, guys. On to my thoughts now on the movie as a whole. Yeah, it was okay. It had its good points and it had its bad points. Yeah. So basically, you've got these 4 girls, these 4 females and that, enjoying themselves like in Ireland and that. And you meet this rather like a dodgy guy in the bar, and he says like, why don't you like sort of like basically move away from all this reveling, like getting drunk in the bar, and come and see some real Irish traditional, some proper Irish sites of historical interest. Now at first the girls look at him like, quizzically, they're a little bit wary of him, but he manages to talk them round, and what he does, he says, I've got this tavern, he says, and he can come along and have a look at that. I won't give away too much of it, guys, but they go off with him, like, to this tavern and that, and, so basically the story. But before that, we get, like, a flashback to two centuries ago, of this character who is the main, like, if you like, the main monster, the main killer of the story. He's basically like, he bursts into the tavern and he's demanding where his wife is and that, and all the people in there, all the patrons look at him and that, and he sort of like trying to deny that she's there, but like he is upstairs and she's bonking upstairs with a lover, an illicit lover. So what does he do? He goes off and said he barges up there and he cops them in bed, she's stark naked.
Oh, you naughty boy!
She stark naked, his wife, and that, and he just goes off and said, he just goes ballistic and that, he's got this big scythe, this guy, and he just basically, he has got no mercy at all, guys. He just does what he does the necessary, what horror movie killers do when they're armed with a lethal weapon, and he basically just lets them have it, basically, in a very bloody fashion, Jason style. But I'll leave it there. Then it flashes forward then to the pursuits of these 4 girls, guys, who are on holiday in Dublin and Ireland and that. Yeah, so basically the girls go along with him. Very creepy, dark tavern and that, and because he says like he says about, like, he's talking about ghost stories, and he says like, I know a good ghost story. Do you want to hear this and that? So basically, he relates the legend of this guy. He's supposed to come back on the anniversary every Patrick's Day and kill fresh victims and that. So it's like every year he's basically an annual killer. His spirit comes back from the dead and he slaughters anybody he can. So basically, that's the story in a nutshell. These girls go back with this creepy guy to this very dark. See, this is a very dark tavern. This is one of the main faults of this movie, guys. There's too many dark scenes. All the time I couldn't see what the hell was bloody going on, but he's a very creepy killer, but yeah, the dark scenes, as is always very symptomatic of these modern horror movies. There's a lot of dark scenes that detract considerably from the movie. Yeah, but it's as I say, it had its moments, but then it had its negative moments, unfortunately, stupid decisions and all. I mean, like when as the film progresses and that, things starts hotting up and that, this killer starts running rampage. One of the girls finds this like old album full of old cuttings from years ago, And documented within the pages of this album are all killings like every year and that, so many people going missing, and it sends alarm bells and that, so she goes down to her mate and that, and they basically say, oh yeah, there's one guy there followed them from the pub who was trying to chat them up in the pub, so he's followed them on and he's there talking to the girl he fancies and that. And when this girl comes in and says she's found like these cuttings about murders being committed, they just poo-poo it and that, just as if and that, oh yeah, so you found some cuttings and that. And he turns to the girl, mate, and he said, oh, you've got a very strange friend and that. Yeah, so basically like, that's just one I found very hard to swallow. And then another one where, basically they just stay there, like all the things start happening. I mean, they should have knew, not to go back with him in the first place, this creepy guy, because like all the signs were there and that, his big eyes and that, when he was talking, he was talking to him in the dark, and he reminded me like the kind of robot Boris Karloff might have made and that, it's got this creepy. I'm sure the Irish accent was feigned, guys, the way he goes on and that. I can't remember every word what he said, but he just reminded me of of an Irish Boris Karloff and that, with a beard and that, he had those big staring creepy eyes and that, yeah. So he gives like this monologue about this curse and that, this killer coming back from the grave every year on St. Patrick's Day. But I was very, very disappointed, guys. But with this being an Irish horror, I would have thought you would have seen some nice scenery of Ireland and that, because a lot of the Irish horror movies, I don't know what you guys think, if you'd agree with me, a lot of the Irish, there's not all that many Irish horror movies I've seen, but the ones I have seen, I've got lovely Irish, lovely scenery, lovely cinematography. Unfortunately, all this was dark. Yeah, it was, it just disposed it, guys, the dark scenes, unfortunately. The killings were pretty gory, but they weren't as gory as like Terrifier, and movies like that, Thanksgiving, but just basically Jason style killings and that, But yeah, and there's a couple of funny lines I had to laugh out loud. Guys. Some of the corny lines that were uttered in this and that, because this creepy guy who takes them back to the areas there, he hasn't got his hat on. He takes them back to the tavern and that. He's talking about like as the movie's progress further on. I won't give away what's happened, but he says like what is he says about this killer, and he says like his parents used to own the house years ago and they were killed. And he says it to the girl. I can't remember it word for word, but pretty much along the lines of you'll have to forgive my Irish accents and that, if it's sort of like yeah. And he says, do you know the reason why my parents were killed? Because they never gave him a bloody St. Patrick's Day present. Yeah, guys, it's just corny, guys. It really is. Some of the lines are just like laugh out loud, laughable and that, and they could have done a better job, guys, with this. They could have made it a better movie, and it was creepy, but it wasn't terrifying. This killer coming back from the grave, if you know what I mean. He was creepy, but he wasn't like he didn't make it go like that or anything. But yeah, it was alright as Irish slasher horror movies go, I thought I'd give it a try. I saw it in HMV yesterday and I thought, what the hell, I'll pick it up and that, and I gave it a go, and it was alright. I don't think I'll be watching it again, guys, to be honest, and that, It had the good atmosphere, like it had the tavern, very creepy, very dark, and but another annoying moment, guys. I do wish they'd stop doing this in these horror films and that. The first thing when the girls all get together and they're sitting down and that, in a tavern and that, and it basically left alone and like for a moment and that this guy goes up somewhere, this guy who takes them there. And the first thing they broach is bloody sex, Oh, and the million and one topics in the world they could talk about, it always goes around to sex. When was your first time? When was your first time? And you've got this, like, of the four girls, three of the girls are attractive, but they've got this very, very dumpy one. She looks like, that dumpy girl that was in Scooby-Doo. What was her name? Was it Thelma? Very, very dumpy girl and a very, very plain Jane and that. And I think they're taking the mickey a little bit out of her, guys, and that, about a love, a love as if what lovers she's had, And that's another thing, guys. The characters are pretty cardboard. We don't really get to know much about them and that, they're just basically four girls on a holiday in Dublin and that, boozing in the bar. And then this fella comes up and says, like, basically, it reminded me a little bit of Taste of Blood of Dracula, where the Ralph Bates character, Lord Courtly, goes up to the, those decadent Victorian gentlemen, and he says, like, basically, would you want to know real excitements now? Would you be willing to sell your soul to the devil? But it wasn't as good as that. But it reminded me of that a little bit, and that, he wanted them to go with him on this, like, wild, way out adventure, and that, into the paranormal, if you will. But yeah, it didn't really work, guys, for me. I've seen better slasher movies, better Irish horror movies than this. It was all right, yeah. It was not nothing to write home about and that. And of the four girls, and there's always one. I don't know about you male viewers, but there's always one girl what you really fancy, isn't there? Whether it's 2, 3, 4, or whatever. There's always one particular girl who you think is your dream girl. And of these four, I would have to say the actress called Eviana Snow. Yeah, very, very beautiful girl, long blonde hair and that, But the other two were okay, but she was my favourite and that. But unfortunately, I won't tell you what happens and that, I'll let you see it for yourself. But apparently she's an up-and-coming horror actress and that, and she's got an Instagram account and that. So, I'll be watching out for more movies featuring Eviana Snow, yeah. But getting back to the general storyline, guys, yeah, I must admit, I was a trifle disappointed, stupid decisions and that, they stayed in the place and that, no matter what alarm bells were set off and that, pertaining to the possible re-emergence of this killer from a couple of centuries ago. Yeah, but he really went off his head at the beginning, guys. He didn't pull any punches with it. We had that scythe and that, that's his weapon. That's a sort of like status symbol, if you will. This like big, long, lethal scythe and that. And he basically does it Jason style, yeah. Okay then, guys, so that's my review of St. Patrick's Day Massacre. Okay then, guys, on to a rating now. Yeah, as I say, it was a pretty average movie. I'm going to give it 5 out of 10, guys. It could have been a lot better. Nothing really special here. I've seen it all before. And the number one problem, it was too bloody dark. I wish these bloody horror producers would stop making the movies too bloody dark. You can't see what's going on. You see more going on in a bloody cave mine, in a bloody coal mine with bloody blindfold over than you see in some of these horror films. Oh, Jesus, honestly, yeah. But yeah, guys, yeah, average horror movie, yeah. So it's going to be, as I say, a 5 out of 10 for St. Patrick's Day Massacre. Could have been much, much better. Okay then, guys, hope you enjoyed my review of this new Irish horror movie, St. Patrick's Day Massacre. Have any of you guys by any chance seen this already? What did you think of it? Do you share my views? That was a pretty average horror movie. Let me know. Let's got a good discussion going about St. Patrick's Day Massacre. Yeah, but yeah, guys, as I say, I won't be adding this to my collection and that, but that's just my opinion. You guys might like it, if you like these sorts of average slasher movies and that. Nothing special, guys, and that, and the characters, they were very, very cardboard. You like pantomime characters and that, and he really overacted the part when he do like an Irish Boris Karloff and that, yeah, his eyes glaring out of his head and that, oh yeah. I had a bit of a laugh out of it anyway, particularly some of those corny lines and that, about the part when he said about his parents and that. Yeah, do you know why my parents were killed? Because he never got him a bloody St. Patrick's Day present. Yeah. But I'll leave it there, guys. I'm gonna let you see it for yourself. Okay, then, guys, that's it. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Okay, take care. See you soon. Bye.
If you enjoyed watching this video, guys, you might like to check out my website at www.alantoner.com. You'll be able to find out a little bit more about my work as a writer and all the books I have published to date. Thanks for watching.